everybody. Ron Wildman on your Middle Georgia Spotlight program. And our guest today, veteran lawmaker, council member, commission member, Elaine Lucas.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
We can talk about a lot of different things, but right off the top up, I don't have a tie on today. My favorite tie clashed with this shirt. This is my Pedestrian Safety Review Board shirt, and with the logo on it.
Yeah.
And I wore this in honor of you because you found that review board, and we have great news so far. We don't want to say only 2 deaths this year so far, but last year at this time, and almost every year by this time, we've had 9, 10, 11, 12 pedestrian deaths.
Right.
And right now we have 2 folks who have passed away because they were hit by vehicles. And a lot of that credit goes to the review board.
Right. I think our efforts at making the streets safer, at educating the public, making them more aware of where they are and who else is in that space and the danger that comes when people and cars occupy the same spaces. I think all of that has helped. So when the numbers are low, we are very, very grateful. And I have to say, I want to thank you because it was you years ago who every morning we'd see pictures of people crossing illegally, crossing roads illegally. We would see pictures of people who were in the wrong place. They were in the place where cars needed to be. You kept on our minds the fact that people were speeding, that there were a number of things that we needed to do because we were losing too many people on our roads. And so it was you that kept that issue alive. And as a sitting commissioner, I started to feel more and more that there was something that needed to be done. And since I was in a position to introduce legislation, I took your lead and went ahead and introduced something that set up the Pedestrian Safety Review Board. And it is a part of our charter. It's a law that set it up, and we are doing great work, and you're a part of that and helping to continue to make it safe for our citizens.
Well, thank you, Elaine. The program's about you, though. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
We want to mention Mayor Miller's involvement, too.
Right, right. Up until this was initiated, put in place in 2015. So it's been a part of the law all of that time. But up until 3 years ago, there was no real funding that was put with it to make it a really effective program or to create better efficiency. And so when Mayor Miller took office, then he deemed that it was important enough, and he saw the problem that we had seen earlier, and he put it actually as a bullet point in his budget to designate pedestrian safety as an important issue to pursue. And that first year, he placed an additional $100,000 in the budget to support the work that we were doing and to put a few more sidewalks in place, a few more traffic lights, change some out, increase the lighting and all of that. We also came up with a plan from the county to change out all of the lights and to make to bring about more lighting in areas, which is a way of increasing the safety. And then last year, the mayor included $500,000, $500,000 in the budget to support pedestrian safety issues and activities. And then this budget has $500,000, an additional $500,000 to support what we are doing in pedestrian safety. So I am just eternally grateful that it is an important issue. We've received some grants from the Georgia Department of Highway Safety and the federal government to support our efforts at educating people on safety, and also doing some things with our roadways as we have new roadways going in or upgrades, then we look at pedestrian safety.
As they're being created.
Exactly.
Also, Gray Highway, Pinona Avenue, Eisenhower Parkway, the main thoroughfares are under the Department of Transportation of the state of Georgia, so we have to work hand in glove with those folks.
But
every year, Macon has double-digit deaths in pedestrians. And this is the first year we've gone into the 8th month with 2, as we say, too many, but still 2. And we really have a program set up to be 0 fatals.
Yeah.
Can that happen?
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. We just have to continue our work. It will never end as long as you have cars and people like to speed. As long as we have cars and as long as we have citizens who don't have a way of getting around other than to walk. And then we encourage our young people, our seniors, to get out and walk, exercise, and everything. So we've got to make sure that everybody's on the same page as far as this safety issue. We've got to educate from the pedestrian standpoint that you must watch where you're going. You have to keep yourself safe. And then we must also say to all those who drive a vehicle that can kill somebody that you must exercise safety as well.
And the main part of that is just folks slowing down. They're doing things to slow cars down. For instance, just this week, Gray Highway, you were out there with Commissioner-elect Stanley Stewart to announce new initiatives there.
Right. Because of a better working relationship that we now have with the Georgia Department of Transportation, we've met over the last several years. We've met on a regular basis, the mayor and people from engineering with the county, myself and several other people. We've met with them and we've developed a better working relationship. We also have included our legislators who fund state government and fund Georgia Department of Transportation. So all of the parties have been brought to the table, and there's been an evaluation of Gray Highway. There are a lot of people who have died or who have been injured out there. It's a the speed is fast on Gray Highway. And so the Georgia Department of Transportation came up with a master plan to impact in a positive way the negatives of those deaths and injuries on Gray Highway. So first of all, they lowered the speed. There are different speeds along there, and they have lowered those speeds. Also, going from the interchange out to where Walmart is located, there are some proposals for making sure that nobody can turn 2 ways out of some of those driveways there. It's a congested area, lots of businesses, lots of cars, and so that's going to be an improvement. And then also the median nets, which are stretches of cement.
They're like
that are raised,
pillows type things.
Right, and because we cannot stop people from crossing where there are no crosswalks, people just will not walk to the crosswalks. They're a long distance apart. Yeah. And we realize that. So what we've done is get those median nets in there, which allow people to cross halfway and then to have a place to stop and make sure that it's safe to cross the remainder of the street.
A little better than the way it is now.
We think that's better. We think that will help. We're not encouraging people to cross anywhere other than the crosswalks, but unfortunately people are not crossing there. They're crossing in between.
There are going to be other things added to this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Many other things, and we are just grateful to the administration and also to Georgia Department of Transportation and our legislative delegation for helping us to make Gray Highway safer and we hope that this will extend to Shirling Drive. There's been repaving there and more striping there. Pinona Avenue is a dangerous one.
Yes.
Eisenhower Parkway, all of those, unfortunately, are state roads. And so we have to work with GDOT in upgrading and improving.
I mentioned Mr. Stewart. He's replacing you in the 3rd District.
District 3.
Not that you didn't want to run again, but you're term limited.
I am term limited. According to our charter, our consolidation charter, commissioners can only serve 3 terms. And so this year will be the last year of that 3rd term for me and several other commissioners. So we could not run again for the county commission. However, I am very, very interested.
What are you going to do in your spare time?
Look, I have the EL Academy where we help students to get their high school diploma. And I have church and sorority and grandchildren and a number of other things. But I have asked the people to support me as I run for the water board.
You do.
So I will be qualifying in a few weeks to run for the Macon Water Authority. And so I hope that people will see fit to support me. I'll be running for District 1 to replace Dr. Anissa Jones, who is running for state representative. And we recently had a campaign kickoff. It was very well attended, and we were able to get the endorsements of not only the mayor, but of some of our state legislators and some of our other local elected officials, ministers, just a very wonderful group of people. And so we hope to be successful. And I want to go to the Water Authority to help because I've got a lot of experience. I think I can move very smoothly to the work of the Water Authority in the wonderful work that they have been doing all of these years. But a lot of people don't know that the Water Authority's budget is bigger than the county budget. And I just want to make sure that the work that they're doing, that I become a part of it and continue to help with that. But I also want to make sure that the storm drainage, the upgrades and everything, that's done across the board and that all citizens benefit equally from their taxpayer money.
The storm sewer situation is a more recent thing taken over by the Water Authority. The city had control of that.
City and the county consolidated government was responsible. But it's a big, big job to upgrade the storm drainage system in this entire county. Macon-Bibb is kind of big. And so we have had many, many years where there were very few upgrades to the storm drainage system. And we've had a lot of cave-ins all over the county. And so the county government felt that it was more effective to contract with Macon Water Authority and turn that whole function over to them, along with the street sweeping and suctioning out the manholes and drainage and all of that. So yeah, we've got a long-term contract, and that $4.99 that people see on their water bills, that $4.99 goes toward paying for the upgrades. And so I want to be a part of helping those who are already serving to make sure that we upgrade everybody in the county.
When you qualify, that will be when, September?
It will be September.
You will have to leave the Bibb Commission.
I will, yeah. The law says that if I qualify for another position, then I would relinquish my role as a commissioner.
It's after 12 years, but prior to that, I remember covering you long before that on the Macon City Council. How many years there?
I served 25 years on the Macon City Council. It was an honor and a privilege. We got a lot of things done. During that time, it was a focus on recreation and a number of other things that we see now as borne fruit, because we do see significant progress in recreation and some other things, senior citizens activities and things in our community. And then I ran for the county commission under consolidated government and was successful. And so this year ends my third term as a commissioner. I was the first black female commissioner elected, and I think I'm probably the longest serving, one of the longest serving elected officials in the community. I just hope that the experience that I bring will be pleasing to citizens, and they will vote for me and support me as I run for the water board.
Water is so important right now, especially this hot summer.
It is. It really is.
Now, you're looking back over the years, prime accomplishments you can think of off the top of your head that you're most proud of.
Well, I'd have to say the improvements in recreation. I worked years ago with Theron Ussery and some others who served on the city council to make sure that we had a comprehensive plan for recreation upgrades in this community, and I think we've been very successful. There are a few places like Lizella and a few other places that need some additional attention, and I do hope that this administration will continue with that. But I'm proud that we have been able to focus on our employees more, increase the salaries on a regular basis of our employees, provide bonuses from time to time for all of our employees, not just public safety, who are so important to us. Police, fire, E911 are so important, but you've got other employees as well. And you've got the courthouse, you've got all of the judges and all of those folks, and they fall under county government as well. And so we have an obligation to look out for everybody, not just those that are the most high profile. And so I'm proud of the fact that I've always been there as an advocate for our employees and have helped to increase not only wages but benefits, which a lot of times are even more important than the wages themselves. If you have health insurance, a good retirement program, those kinds of things, that means an awful lot to not only the employee but the family. And I've been an advocate for training. The more training that our employees get, the better employee they are, and then they're eligible to move up and make more money and to assume greater responsibility in governmental operations. So I'm proud of those things. I'm proud of the Senior Citizens Center.
That's right, named in your honor.
Yeah, it was. Former Commissioner Schlesinger introduced that to designate the Senior Citizens Center in my honor, because we really worked hard on that. That was an important promise that we made to the community, and I was determined that we were going to keep it. And when there was kind of a lag there with getting that project done, then we pushed forward with it. And now it's a reality, and I'm just very, very proud that we're able to provide that for our senior citizens, because seniors carry the weight of the community. They really are the wind beneath everybody's wings.
That facility is located in what was known as Central City Park, now Carolyn Creighton Park, a beautiful building, large enough to handle what you really need down there.
Absolutely. They've got an exercise area, they have a general meeting area, they have a computer lab, just a number of, they have a sewing area. And they have all kinds of activities. They travel all the time. They have a chorus. They have a dance group. They just have all kind of early morning exercise, all of those kinds of things. And to join, it used to be $20 a year, but I introduced something to reduce it in half to $10 per year. So for $10, our seniors can join the Senior Citizen Center and take part in all of those different activities. Those folks love it.
Can you handle more folks down there?
I'm sure they can. I'm sure they can, but they have a full house most of the time.
Well, that's wonderful. A lot of windows in that building, too.
A lot of windows, good light, and all that's important.
Recently had Fire Chief Shane Edwards in here. He was telling me about all the equipment they've been able to buy in recent years. Record amounts of money, and a new training facility. You had something to do with that, too.
That's right. I'm always pleased when I can join and vote in favor of something like that a large group of our employees should have had a while back. But because of a lot of the federal monies that we've been able to get through this national administration, the Biden administration, we have been able to afford a lot of things in this community. Not only the programs for our youth, and by the way, the rate of homicides is way, way down. I'm just so thrilled at that. But that's, I think, due to a focus on youth services and keeping kids out of violent activities, criminal activities, and working with them early. I think that's a part of it. But those additional monies and the SPLOS that our citizens have approved, all of that has helped us to be able to afford all of the needed equipment for fire and police. And it's also allowed us to get the latest technology, the camera systems, all of those kinds of things which help us to catch the bad guys. Some of the high-profile cases recently have been solved more quickly because we had the latest technology. So I've been real pleased to be a part of that. And also the bonuses that we have given out to all of our employees. That's come because we've had the additional federal monies along with additional monies that the people have voted for.
The relationship between the sheriff, who's kind of a separate world in a way, but still you have to work together as far as the facilities go.
That's right.
How is that going now? How's that working?
It's going fine. I think it was, we were fortunate that we had a veteran sheriff in place who was just recently reelected, and we were real happy about that. Want to encourage all those other folks to stay in the fight, though, because we're going to need some more folks in training coming up to take the sheriff's place in the future. But I think because we had that a successful veteran sheriff in place, we've been able to make improvements and make adjustments. There is a need for a new jail, and so I think we're going to need somebody with that experience to guide that process.
Any talk about movement on a new jail?
Well, there is talk. As a matter of fact, there are some people who I think have some preliminary plans as far as checking with some experts, because this is something that's just not something that Bibb County has a problem with. Just think of all the places that have jails, and those jails wear out because you have constant use. It all the time, unfortunately. And there are new designs that keep people from breaking out of them as easily. And so it's been a challenging thing in law enforcement, but I just salute the folks who have stuck with it and have become a part of law enforcement. There are a lot of women who are joining the police force, and the sheriff swears in new deputies on a regular basis, and they're committed. They come, and it's a very dangerous occupation. However, we need to have some committed people who are willing to do it. And the more modern we are as far as the equipment that our officers have to use, and the safer the buildings are that they operate out of, the safer and more well-equipped vehicles that they have to use, the new technology that's available to them, the better off they are and the better off we are. And they're better able to respond when citizens need them.
I recall covering and making police over the years
Yeah.
ago, before consolidation and before all this money came flowing in
Right,
here.
right.
Some of those vehicles weren't in very good shape at all.
No, they were not. They were not. And people don't want their taxes raised. And so whenever you, in the past, whenever you get toward budget time, people would just say, I don't want my taxes raised. I don't want them raised. But you need to have services and equipment. And so we frankly got behind on things, trying to hold the line on taxes while still trying to provide the equipment that was needed in these different departments. But I am just so thrilled that the national administration, the Biden administration, has provided additional monies through these national pieces of legislation that has enabled us to do a better job for our local citizens. And it's been my pleasure as a city council member and the county commissioner to vote in favor of these different projects. A lot of them that people never really know about because it's the high profile kind of, glitzy things that people hear about, but they don't hear about the health insurance plan that we changed that saved the county $25 million and also provided adequate and better health care coverage for our employees, that kind of thing. That's not glamorous or whatever, but it's effective.
We're close to being out of time, but I want to mention something. My less than stellar exercise program takes me to the Macon Mall. I love the building, and also you all are making that a real place for government too.
Yes, it's a good, it's a place where you have a blend of governmental offices. You have 2 courtrooms out there. You have the Board of Elections, and once they get their act together and address a few accessibility issues and things like that, people are going to just marvel at how effective that is. I think it's just wonderful that you can go and vote inside and not worry about the weather or anything. Then we have the largest pickleball facility that's very successful.
Where Bill Matthews used to be.
Right. And then the businesses that were gonna leave are staying, which is wonderful. And property values around that area are increasing, which is wonderful. And then you've got the amphitheater, and there have been some sold out shows out there. And so I just am just so grateful that the plan was put together and that the county was given most of that Macon Mall, which was just sitting there and was about to be empty. And it's been repurposed. And I think you have to give credit where it's due. You have to say, I might not like everything this person does, but I sure do like this.
What person are you talking about?
I'm talking about the mayor. I didn't support him when he ran the first time. And so, but, I can see where things benefit, and I'm not going to sit up and not support something because I might have a problem with some other things. If it's a good project And it's going to benefit the citizens, and it's going to save money, and it's going to raise an area up like it's done around the mall. And over on the east side, the East Bank is about to just, I'm just so excited about what's about to happen on the east side. And really, there's growth over this entire community. The interchange that Senator Lucas was instrumental in keeping the money in place and everything, that is going to create a safer place for traffic to go through here. More and more people are going to be coming through here and maybe stop and buy. And the more people buy, the less we'll have to pay in taxes because they'll help us pay. All of those things mean that Macon is making progress. Well, and that is a good thing, and I'm all for that.
Well, we have to go. Good luck in your upcoming race.
Thank you. I just need everybody's support, and I hope they'll support me for that District 1 Water Board seat.
And that election will be in November?
It will be in November.
Along with the presidential race?
Right, right. And everybody needs to go vote. If you're not registered, you need to get registered.
Well, on that note, we're going to quit.
All right.
For the time being. Thank you, folks, for being with us. I'm Ron Wildman here at the Middle Georgia Spotlight program on WMUB TV.